Okay, good evening and Atma Namaste. Thank you for being online again. I think this is our 10th session or 11th session. I've lost count really. And we have been discussing a lot about prosperity. Now, as we had been going through the prosperity sessions, there are so many tips which my fellow, pranic healers, our instructors from different parts had given, and grateful that at least we have some insight on what prosperity energy means. We all know what prosperity energy means, but what are the obstacles preventing us to become successful? And today our topic is going to be more connected to the aspect of poverty consciousness and vows of poverty. We'll talk about them, and maybe some insights will come so you can start healing yourself and working on that. Okay, so before we do that, let us do a short prayer. Let's invoke to the spring being, divine father mother. Thank you for your divine light, your love, your healing soothing energies. Thank you for blessing each one of us collectively in this group, the people who are connected and people who will be watching the recording later. Be blessed with lots of divine healing soothing energies. We invoke for the blessings of abundance, prosperity, and divine protection, with lots of good health, happiness, and joy. Thank you for blessing us with this session with clarity of mind and thought, with deeper understanding of poverty consciousness, with deeper understanding on what we need to take steps to release this energy and old patterns and beliefs from our system. We thank our teacher, Grandmaster Chua Kok Sui, for making this teaching so simple to understand. Thank you, Master. We thank all the great ones, the Holy Gurus and the Holy Masters for this amazing, amazing, amazing lecture and to be able to understand what I need to do, what we need to do. Thank you. To the angels of prosperity, thank you for blessing us and being with us throughout the session. Thank you. Now be aware of everyone in this room. Smile, visualize like we are in one room and say Atma Namaste to each one of us. I, the soul, we salute the divinity in each one of us. We are one. Atma Namaste. All right. So let's discuss a few areas. Okay. I want us to understand that everyone is not born on a golden spoon. Some people struggle to get prosperity, and some people just have it. It's like it was just there. Now the inheritance from the parents, the grandparents, and the ancestors come with it. Now, many people, if you look at the history of a lot of people, they had to struggle to make the golden turnover to happen. Some of them were really really struggling with business, and then they get this creative idea and they put that idea in action, and suddenly you see the people really really manifested a lot of things just picked up. If you look at the history of KFC, the guy went to 21 or 22 hotels selling his recipe. Not everybody rejected it. I think more than that, if I remember well. And everyone said that he's not good enough, he cannot do this, he cannot uh, bring in what's required. So he really struggled, he really struggled to get his recipe to be sold. Then one day someone did buy his recipe, or if I remember correctly, then it was a boom. And look at KFC today, they're one of the richest people who are established. Now, what happens is, first you need constancy of aim and effort. Prosperity comes with people who practice the virtue of constancy of aim and effort and non-laziness, no procrastination, just go, 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 go. When you say, I'm going to do this, you have to, like, for now, if you really want to manifest prosperity, if we say start blessing your money every day, you have to wake up and bless your money, because that is constancy of aim and effort. You will do it. You will do it for the required time. And that's why the success comes. So many of us who join the group, some of us fall off, some of us don't practice. And that's the reason you don't see the results. So let's talk about poverty consciousness. Do we all have poverty consciousness? And yes, if yes, where does it come from? The influential comes from the ancestors, generations of our ancestors. We carry that energy from the DNA of our parents, 7 generations down the road. When we are being conceived, we have the DNA of our parents. Our parents have the DNA of their parents, and so on and so forth. So that energy trickles down or flows down to us and comes and embeds in some of our cells. Many times the energy you're carrying is not yours. It's maybe your parents, maybe your grandparents, maybe your great-great-grandparents. So how do I remove this? How do I even know I have it? When I came into pranic healing, I did not even know there is something called poverty consciousness. I had no clue until we learned it from Master Choa Kok Sui in the Kriya Shakti class. Those of you who have not taken Kriya Shakti, I highly recommend you to please take the workshop. And then interestingly, I learned something else, vows of poverty. And I was thinking, really, there's something like vows of poverty? Where does that come from? That also comes from the ancestral background. Now, imagine your great grandfather, perhaps one of them was part of the Montessori, which they were inside some school. Okay. Now, they have a school, they connected to a spiritual school. The mission of that soul was to grow only spiritually. So they have to take vows of poverty. You know that money is not good, I do not want money. Or they even believe that money is evil. When money comes to you, you do evil things. How many of you have heard something like this? That money is evil. Sometimes, it's not good to have money. It's a thought form which has come from our ancestors. Okay, because they did not want people to become slaved to money. They brought this up, but it's not a true pattern. Okay, so what happens? That person was said, he repeatedly had the vows of poverty continuously for many years. Then he had children. He's passed that pattern to his children. And then that children have passed the pattern to their children. And that one of those children happened to be your parents. And now you are struggling with money. You, even when you want to give money out, you're feeling, oh my god, this thing is so expensive, oh my god, this thing is like that. So even if you have so much money, it's a seed of poverty consciousness or a vow of poverty which has taken. It's easy to scan this. We are very lucky we have the tools of Grandmaster Choa Kok Sui scanning, so it's easy for us to identify this. So shall we do this together? Would you like to just scan to understand, or you're scared? Okay, let's have some video feeds on. So let's make it interactive. Okay, so just sensitize your hands. All right. Now, do I have vows of poverty? Which chakra do you think the vows of poverty would be in? I think you know the famous chakra, no? Yeah. Which chakra would you think is the vows of poverty? Yes, it is basic, but there is also solar plexus also has it, the emotional part of it. The physical part is connected in the basic chakra. Emotional is in the solar plexus. Yes, throat will have the verbal one. Ajna will have the mental one, which is influencing the brain and the entire body. So let's scan. All right, think of your basic chakra right in front of you and mentally say, and energies, entities, programs of vows of poverty in my basic chakra. Now scan. Just come very slowly and measure the energy level. Very slowly measure the energy level. I want you to just measure how many inches is it. You can feel the energy like I have it. Look, this much. Okay, if I'm thinking of my basic chakra is here, so this much. All right, flick your hand. Are those all yours? You need to ask yourself, is this energy mine? Or did I pick this from my parents? Okay, so just do this, just do flick, so you can scan with accuracy. Don't be biased, open-minded. Now say, the poverty consciousness, you have to, energy follows thought. You remember, my dear friends, from classes we know energy follows thought. So direct your energy, ask a question. The poverty conscious energy which I am feeling in my basic chakra, how much of this is my parents, from my parents? Scan. How much of this poverty consciousness have I carried from my parents? Voila. Are you surprised? Are you surprised? A lot of it is from your parents. Yeah, who says yes? Can I see some hands up? Yes, yeah. Almost 90% of the people I have put their hands up. It is from the parents. That means we have carried the DNA from them. Okay, flick, just clean your hand, just flick. Let's do another program scanning. How much of this is from my ancestor? It could be great grandparents, great-parents. They're not bad people, so don't start blaming them, but just the energy is there. Like you are going to pass it on to your family. So before you do it to your generation, you need to remove it. So scan. How much of this poverty consciousness that I have in my basic chakra is from my ancestors? Is from my ancestors. All right. How many found there is? How many found out from the scanning? Yes, there is energy also from my ancestors. Can you all please show of hands, or you can type it in, so at least we know that what we are scanning is accurate. All right. Yeah, more from the parents, but there is also from the ancestors. So do you know what your parents went through when they were going to conceive you? We have no idea. So I'm going to give you a very interesting story. There was a gentleman, he came into a class, not for me, a friend was sharing this. This person owns buildings. He has enough money in his life to, like, 3 to 4 generations to eat very nicely with no issues. Every time he would have to have a planning, new projects were coming, the guy would get into a fit. He would get fits. He would get an anxiety attack. And it was so bad that he could not understand what on earth is happening to me. Why am I going through this? So he was lucky to get a person who is a pranic healer, who is also a psychologist, and who's also, knows all this stuff. So she talked to him, had an interview with him, and said, why do you feel like this? He starts, having palpitations. He was thinking, I'm having a heart attack. Every time a new project is coming up, every time there is, planning involved and something happens, the checks are delayed or something. So there was a pattern. So she was scanning and she found the pattern very strong from the parents, just like some of us have. Now, what happened? She went, she asked him, is any of your parents alive? Luckily, I do not remember the full story, but I know one of the parents was alive. So the parent was brought in. She said, just bring your father or mother. I can't remember which parent. We'll have to talk to them. So she started talking to them. She asked him, when you're conceiving this gentleman, what was your story like? What was your life like? So the person said, when we are conceiving him, he was our third child. Third child means life was tough already. They had two children. Indian families, we all live in joint families. Yes. So they had their in-laws with them and going through a lot of, tension. Now we're going to have a third child. Oh my God. Every night, the husband would come home, talk to his wife about something, a business which was about to fail. They were going almost bankrupt. So every night, he's sitting in the bed, doing his accounts and sharing that story, his worries, his things. Oh my God, what is going to happen? I don't know if this person is going to pay the check. Oh my God, this money may not come through. So every night, this person is having a conversation with his wife while she's pregnant. Where do you think the energy was going? I don't know about the other siblings because it may have affected them as well, but this one was in the stomach. This whole vibration, the thought forms of the parent talking for months and months over their crisis and what they're facing through affected the child. If you read my Grandmaster Choa Kok Sui's Achieving Oneness with a Higher Soul book, he clearly says there, come on, the mold of how you feel, say, think, work, the pictures you see, you talk affects your baby. So imagine all that program went into him. No wonder he was feeling like this. But the family got back into their track and money was stable, but the patterns remained. Remember, he's a millionaire and still having these anxieties, still having these worries. Why? It's a pattern. It's a program in the system. And that's the same program we carry. That's why we worry about money most of the time. The biggest worries we have is money. We don't realize health is also a big worry. We should be taking care of health. If you have good health, you can earn as much money as you want. But unfortunately, that's not what we do. We are always kind of, worrying about money. So we all have a poverty consciousness. We can remove these programs. We will just guide you what to do. Now touch your throat chakra. Now come and scan, say verbal communication, any vows of poverty that I have, energies of patterns of vows of poverty in my throat chakra. Vows of poverty in my throat chakra. Okay, scan. Measure. How many have it? Just type it in, please. Let's see. How many of you have vows of poverty? Just say yes, 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 so I'll know. Okay, so we understand that how many of us are actually having these vows. Now, where did these vows of poverty come from? Ask again. Did I take vows of poverty in any lifetime, in the past lifetime? Have I taken any vows of poverty? Scan. Are these mine? Are these vows of poverty mine? Am I the one who's...
I think internet is off.
Sorry, we lost internet. Jesh, I hope you had continued with the session. Did Jesh continue with the session?
No.
Oh, sorry, I'm so sorry. We lost the connection. Something happened to the internet. Apologies. All right, let's scan. Did you scan the vows of poverty taken by yourself? Was it you or was it from the past? Yes, but you have vows of poverty, right? So ask, are these from the past? Are these vows of poverty from the past? Yeah, like I can sense it is from the past. So that means somewhere down the road, we have taken vows of poverty. Now, we may have verbalized them ourselves, or maybe we had our family member, somebody in ancestor in the line had probably done it. Now, it's very interesting that we have this. Now, are you surprised? How many felt I'm surprised? Can you write number one? If you're surprised, just write chat in the chat number one. You're surprised that these things actually exist. Yeah, I didn't know about this either. Yes. So why do we get them? Because there is a pattern. How do I remove this pattern? There are very many techniques to do it. All right. So we're going to practice the first technique which we learned in pranic psychotherapy is the erasing technique. All right. So I want you to put a whiteboard in front of you. All right. Put a whiteboard like we would have a whiteboard. All right. Put it in front of you and then put like seeds. Imagine there are seeds of poverty. You're just putting them on this whiteboard, which are coming out of your basic chakra, your throat chakra, mentally from your Ajna chakra, solar plexus, the emotional seeds. Now put them there and put your three fingers on the Ajna. This is to help you create the the mental will to erase them. Put this and let's erase. Put your hand like this. Imagine you have an electric violet duster in your hand and start erasing these seeds. Just erase them from down to up. Erase. That's one. With create a mental will, say, I erase this, I release this vows of poverty, poverty consciousness from my entire body. I release this. Now say, I release this from my physical body. I release these energies and these patterns from my emotional body, which happens to be the astral body. I also remove them from my mental body and from the subconscious and conscious level. Erase these seeds completely. Erase, 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 erase. Erase, 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 erase. Did this thing work? Let's find out. Scanning is a very amazing tool we all have. Do you agree? Now scan. Say vows of poverty now. After erasing, is there a reduction? Scan your throat. Scan your basic chakra. Vows of poverty now in my basic chakra after doing the erasing technique. Who says it's reduced or it's gone? Type number 2. Quickly, type number 2 so we know. Okay. If it's not reduced, if it's not gone, please do some more. But we will do more techniques. We will help. We will do some more techniques. All right. Now, can we imagine the opposite? Now, close your eyes. Imagine. We will do some more techniques also. Imagine that you're really okay and comfortable where money is concerned. And repeat after me. Say, money flows to me easily. Money flows to me easily, constantly, and in great, great abundance. All my needs are met. I can pay all my bills with easiness. As I receive, I generously receive, and I also give in abundance. When I'm buying stuff, I buy with happiness. When I receive money, I receive with joy. When I give and share, I also do it with joy because I can afford it. I have all the means. Money is flowing to me easily, constantly, and in great, great abundance. In fact, say money rains to me. All my needs are met. To the angels of prosperity, thank you for being in my company always. I appreciate you. Thank you for being in the thank you for watching my bank accounts, my M-Pesa, my money, my cash. Thank you for being there. I anchor you there. Thank you for being there. Just say to the angels of prosperity, I invite you. You're my guest, the best guest I have. Stay permanently. Imagine you're giving the prosperity angel a permanent residency in your home, in your bank account, in your purse, in your M-Pesa account, in your checkbook. It's like you're anchoring this light there. And just smile and say, this guest, stay here permanent. You're allowed. Check the energy again now. Scan. Poverty consciousness now in my basic chakra. This happens in a group energy. That's why we ask you to come in group. Check for poverty consciousness in the throat. Who says it's reduced? Can you just type number 2 again so we know? Or gone? Yeah, just by doing the affirmation. So imagine if there is regularity of doing this every day, then you get the results. Yes? So you have to make a program. The program to release cells and make new cells to come to your body is 21 days program. Always. Why do we do a program in 21 days? Because according to scientists, new cells get new cells come in the body. So when new cells are regenerating, the old cells die. They die with the old memory. New cell come with the new memory. So your memory is, I'm prosperous, I am successful. So the new cell taking place in that caption has a new pattern. And that's how you reduce. But of course, pranic psychotherapy is one of the most best tools. So practice psychotherapy on yourself at least twice a week with intention of removing these energies. So in 6 months or 1 year, this program is completely changed. You get pregnant, those of you who don't have children, you're going to get pregnant. The child is going to come with new patterns. If you have children already, you need to also do pranic psychotherapy on them. Scan your children. Do they also have poverty consciousness? Did they pick it up from you? And the answer is definitely going to be yes. Those of you who have children, quickly scan the aura of your child. Does my child have my genes of prosperity, vows of prosperity? Just check. Vows of poverty consciousness. Do they have vows of consciousness? Just scan one of your child. Those of you have children. If yes, type number 5. And mentally, and you have to say which I picked from me. Yes, I'm also going to type 5. I do. My children have that. And where is it say specifically say from me? Only 3 people have children in this room. Really? Chat box. So are you going to heal your children also? Before they grow up, before they have children, you've cleaned the pattern out. We should be very lucky to have the tools of Grandmaster Chokoksi, that at least we know what to do. Second option. Okay, listen to me. What else can we do? Let's do the sacrifice technique. This is also part of the pranic psychotherapy. Those of you who know how to do the blue triangle, you can do the blue triangle and do the work. So that also helps. Those are Aratic yogis. And of course, people who have done Kriya Shakti should be using the Kriya Shakti techniques, which are many. But let's do a sacrifice, okay? Now, before we ask for blessings, let's do another cleansing process. So I want you to think like you're holding a tray in your hand, and you've put all the vows of poverty, remaining vows of poverty in this tray, vows of poverty consciousness in this tray, negative energies towards money, any feelings, any fear about money, put it in the tray. Okay. Now visualize that you're picking this tray up. Remember, we do this in the pranic psychotherapy class. Visualize a huge big sun and imagine you're throwing these energies to the sun, and pray and say to the Supreme God, I ask you to please burn these energies, this poverty consciousness, any vows of poverty that I may have taken from the conscious, subconscious levels, including negative thoughts about money, fear about money, that I don't have enough, any energies of these things, please, which I'm aware of, not aware of, conscious level, subconscious levels, I am burning this. Please accept the sacrifice. Visualize like these contents are going deep into the sun and they're getting burnt. Simple techniques like this are powerful. Say thank you. Now, scan again your throat chakra. Vows of poverty taken, energy of vows of poverty taken now. How much energy do you feel? And also scan your basic chakra. Vows of poverty taken, poverty consciousness in my basic chakra now. It will be very minimum reduced or gone. But it's not permanently gone. For now, it has gone. But it's still in your subconscious level. That's why it's a repetition. It's like taking a shower. No, we wake up in the morning, we take a shower because we, the body gets dirty. The body needs a freshener. So do this. It doesn't take long. So when you don't have time, you just do the sacrifice. 5 minutes every day. It's finished at night, in the morning, whenever you have time. But you have to make a program. You need to make a program. You need to make a schedule for the next 21 days to remove this. The cells have a pattern. Let's change the cells. Who is ready to take this up as a challenge? Write down, I will take this challenge up. You're not doing it for me. We are doing it for yourself. And then you scan. You will automatically see things have started changing. The virtue to practice for this 21 days consciously, effortlessly, is generosity and non-stealing. Read the book of Grandmaster Choa Kok Sui with Compassionate Objectivity, or Basic Pranic Healing, The Miracles Through Pranic Healing, or The Achieving Oneness with the Higher Soul. The virtues are written for you there. Focus on the virtue of generosity and non-stealing. Now, it is in giving that you receive. You cannot say, I will give once I receive. How will you receive if you're not even ready to open your pockets up? Yes? So I will ask you to take a challenge. Now, mostly, I will tell you something. We learned this recently. If you want that 21-day challenge to happen, then every day you tithe also. Don't worry about the amount. It can be 100 shillings, it can be 200 shillings, but every day for that 21 days, you remove a tithing and give it out. Don't keep it with you. Don't say, I'll give it out after 21 days. You give it out, whichever charity you want to give to. All right. These programs are left for you for free of charge. So if you want to support Grandmaster Choa Kok Sui's organization, because this is where the teachings are coming from, so your obligation is to your teacher. So you can give some there also. All right. I every day post the till number. So you can say, okay, 21 days. If you're going to give 100 shillings, that's only 2,100 shillings. That's nothing. So you do your sacrifice, you erase, you pray, and then you do your blessing. After that, donate 100 bob. I don't think that's very, very much. What do you feel? Yes, if you can give more, you give more. If you can give 1,000 shillings, if you can give 2,000 shillings, and even if you can give 10,000, that's even better. Which currency is different? If Tanzanians will say, yeah, 10,000 is nothing. The currency matters. Yeah, Anna will say, kwacha is okay. All right. So it depends. I'm talking about Kenya shillings or I'm talking about dollars. Yeah. So please do the challenge and you will see results, guaranteed. Don't miss it. If you miss one day, for any reason, you start from number 0 again. Now, another thing which I really want to emphasize quickly. Please note, when you have a business, you have to tithe from your business. Some people say, I tithe, but the business doesn't tithe. So if your business is not tithing, how will the business make money? So some say, but my business is not making any profits. There is something wrong because you're not giving. So the minute you start giving, you will notice orders are coming, more clients are coming. What do as a healer, I'll give you my example. When I receive money for healing, the first thing I do is, even before I use that cash, I take 10% of that immediately and I give it to the Pranic Healing Foundation. Why? Because that's where I get the information from. No, that I get pranic, because my job is pranic healing. Okay, I'm just giving you an example. So immediately I tithe 10%. Immediately. If a client pays me, I tithe it out 10%. And many healers do that. You know what happens? The next minute they get another call. More healings have just come in. Just like that. Yes, I won't mention the name of a very generous lady who is in this room. She just gifts me. Even another day, she just sent me M-Pesa. I was like, oh my God, she just said, that's for you. Please take it. I was like, oh, wow, thank you. So gifts just came. It was not expecting it. It's not about the amount. It was just the gift came. So that's how money will just come. You'll just get a client. You'll just get people. So many people will just come. Things will just happen. I am talking from experience. If I have to tell you my stories, you'll be really, really surprised about tithing. So tithing works, but you have to also tithe from your business. If you have an income, X income in a month after taxes, you know you made an X number of profit, 10% remove it. Give it out. You'll see next month what happens to you. More money will be given. Guaranteed. It never fails. If it didn't fail for millions of people, why should it fail for you? All right, we're going to share the till number again for the Pranic Healing Foundation East Africa. Mahasamadhi is coming. We've already done 2 feeding programs. If you want to do it there, you may do it. But these teachings come from Master Choa. You have to give back to the teacher. The other thing, which, if you remember, our good friend Arka was sharing, you must bless the teacher with the same things you need. It really manifests. Okay, so before we do that, so have you done the erasing? What is the first technique you will do? Erasing. You erase the vows of poverty 7 times. Okay, then you imagine the image that you're receiving money. You imagine that when you have to pay bills, you're not struggling. You imagine that your income is just generating more and more money is coming. After that, you also do the sacrifice. Okay, so you can sacrifice. So that's also cleansing technique. Energizing is by blessing. So blessing is positive affirmations. Blessing, you can also use the great invocation if you want. The mantra Om Mani Padme Hum is also the mantra to bring in good luck. Manifestation happens with Om Mani Padme Hum. So you bless 21 times. Every month. This you should do once a month. When you receive your salary, when you receive your paycheck, weekly or monthly, I don't know how we receive it, you say thank you, say a gratitude prayer and say thank you God for giving me this money. Manifestation happens with Om Mani Padme Hum. So you can bless that. And there is a beautiful mantra which is called Mahalakshmi mantra, the Lakshmi mantra. Also that has prosperity energy. So what could you do? Now some of us are not from the Hindu background, so we do not know how to say the prayer. You can buy Grandmaster Choa Kok Sui's CD, he recites it. So you can say, okay, I'll buy that CD because all of you believe in the teacher. Put that Om Namah Shivaya Om mantra running once a day in your business in the morning, then switch it off, finished. It can be even in a very low tone. That helps prosperity energy to come in. But before we do that, you need cleansing. So cleansing is done with the mantra Om. So you play the CD, mantra Om, with an intention. Mentally say, disintegrate all contaminated, dirty, disease energy, any poverty consciousness, any negative energies in my office, which may be hindering my progress to success. Because people work with you. If you're in an office, everybody comes with their own energy, their own stories, and their own programs. And then once that CD has been playing, the Om, which may be even sound of stillness, then You remove that, or you can put it in a disk so you know it'll just loop. Then you put the Lakshmi mantra once a day. It can be very low, nobody's even listening to it. And that's it. It manifests success, abundance, prosperity to such a large degree. I will be sharing with you maybe a formula also to make spray. Okay, you can make a certain spray which has gold and red prana. Then you spray it in your office. We have so many techniques. We just don't use them, or we make excuses. Do the small ones so they don't take too much of your time, so you don't feel overwhelmed. Oh my God, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. You get tired. The achieve the impossible. If you have Golden Lotus Sutra of Grandmaster Choa, we achieve the impossible. He's written so many things there to become successful and prosperous. And then the other thing which I will emphasize, I was talking to a client today also, is if you have done the spiritual business management, you're given a chart like this one. How many have done spiritual business management? Can you put number 3 if you have done it? If you have attended the workshop? Oh, many of you have attended the workshop. This is the planner. Please use the cycle when you want to do certain things. Many of you just keep this and you don't realize it. Sometimes you want to open a business or you want to do investments in the wrong cycle. Then things don't work. You want to move house in a wrong cycle. You want to get married in a wrong cycle. You want to get, even some people want to terminate employment in a wrong cycle or get divorced or whatever. If the cycle is wrong, the energy will not flow. You must do things because you have the tools. If you haven't taken this class, spiritual business management, I highly recommend you do it, or you can ask a friend to check your cycle. It's very easy to check the cycle you're in. You put the arrow on the birth date and then you see. All right. For example, I'm going to put my birthday is, by the way, next week, 25th March. That's my birthday. So if that is my birthday, I put the red cycle there. Now, that means currently I am in my 7th cycle. My 7th cycle is the Saturn cycle, the period where the sun, my stars are the sun. The Saturn is the one which is dominating me more. So what should I be doing in this cycle? It says it's a good time for creative destructions. So a lot of changes take place in the 7th cycle. And I've seen that happen for the last 52 days. There will be drastic changes. There will also be manifestation of negative karma. So it's important for me to understand I'm in my 7th cycle. So many karmas can materialize. What is the steps I need to take in this 7th cycle is to make sure that I tithe and do a lot of service in this month. So it can offset my karma so I do not suffer. Life does not mean to be suffer. If you know the principles, you do the action properly. It also says it is also term spirituality. That means if I want to, for example, some of you like to do level changes or you want to do other spiritual classes, it's the right time to do it. It also says termination. What does termination mean? If I want to terminate any contracts, it's a good time for me to do that in my cycle. I want to end certain things. I want to change certain things. It's the right time for me to do this in my cycle, which is the last 7th cycle. Termination also means if you look at the people, if you have family, friends who have died, most of the people die in their 7th cycle. 90% of the people, if you ask their date, when did this person die? You look at their birth date, most of them are in their last cycles. Go and check it out, do a research, you'll be surprised. Or as they're starting their first cycle, many people die in that time. Now, these cycles, I do not want to teach you this because it's not a class to teach you spiritual business management, but your business also has a cycle. All right. So when did you start your business? Look at the cycle. What cycle are you in? If you want to do termination, you want to sack employees, the 7th cycle of the business is the best time because energies will flow, obstacles will not be there. You also know, oh, the company can manifest a lot of negative karma. What do I need to do? Start doing a lot of tithing, donate from the company, give bonuses. That is the right time to give bonuses. Yes. So use these skills. We have a lot of tools, my dear friends. We are very lucky to have a teacher like Grandmaster Choa Kok Sui. I emphasize on this again and again. All right. So like this, you have a yearly cycle, 365 days divided by 7. Is it 52 days? Like this also, we have 7 cycles of our life. From year 1 to year 7 is your first cycle. So calculate which cycle you're in now, based on your dates. Okay, take your calculator out. All right. How old are you? Take the calculator. How old are you? Now you divide it by 7. Is it done like that, Jesh? Are you online?
Yeah.
I don't have J. So how can you guide the people how to divide this? Are you interested or it's okay? We can leave it. Are you guys interested?
Yes, Shavana, go on.
Okay, only Vinubai is interested, so we will only share it with Vinubai. The rest of you didn't say yes. So no,
Yes,
you can all close your ears.
Savannah.
Yes, yes.
Now
Desh,
we
can
are
you teach them? Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Desh, can you teach them how to calculate in the end? First of all, everyone should have this chart, yeah? If you have this chart, you use it. Now, if you don't have this chart, then you practice, then you go and join the course near you, which may be coming soon, Spiritual Business Management. Okay? Jesh, can you teach us how to use this chart?
So, like Shavana mentioned, that you have your yearly cycle, and then you have the 7-year periods that you have. So, like you have your 7-year, 7 cycles in a year, which is composed of 52 days plus 1, which is your birthday, and the year cycle is from the time you're born. Say from 0 to 7 is your first cycle of the years, and every period is determined by that 1 year. So number 1 will be your first year, number 2 will be a second year, number 3 will be a third year. So what she was saying about the certain period is going to be your 7th year. Now in your 7th year, you will change many things. Okay, so if you look at that from the chart, you will begin to understand how is this falls. Now that's your first cycle of 7 years, 0 to 7. Then from 8 to 14 is your next 7-year cycle. Then from 9 to 16 is your third cycle. No, sorry. 1 to 7, then 8 to 14, then 15 to 21. Okay, and then from 21, 22 to 28, 28, then from 29 to 35, these are your 7-year period. Now every year in that period, your first year is determined by number 1, which is it's your time to ask for favors. When you ask for favors, you ask for things that you want to flow with. Okay, or you want those energies to flow with you based on what you want. Okay, so then there is cycle of 2, which is the second year. That will depend on what happens in year 2, which is more to do with your emotional cycle. Okay, and there are certain businesses which you can start in this particular cycle, which are mainly related to liquids. Okay, so if your end product is a liquid like water, you want to start something, you start in that cycle. I don't know if it's making sense or not.
Have you understood it to a certain degree, guys? You need to get this chart. Please work with this chart, the Kabbalistic chart. It has cycles. I will highly recommend that. We have so many of you learned spiritual business management. Unfortunately, we do not use the skills we have from so many classes that we have done. Everything works like this. Like right now, I'm looking at myself. I think I'm in my first cycle of my year birth. And that means for the 7 years, I can ask favors. It's a very good time for me to start new businesses or projects. So this is something which is good for me, right? Okay, so if you get married in this cycle, it's again very favorable to you. So these are certain things you need to understand. This is a time for me to start the business. So put the date of the business when the business starts. That's the first cycle of the business. And remember, you must tithe from the business. It's so important for you to do that. So can we do a small experiment right now with you? Can you think? All of you have a business? Do you all have a business? Yeah, some business or the other. Can I ask you to imagine? Don't do anything right now. Imagine the prosperity energies of your business. So just put the entity. You know the business as an entity. Did you know that? If you want, we can do business healing in the next session. We'll give you simple techniques how to disintegrate negative thoughts. Do you want that or no? It's not interesting. We leave it. Nobody wants business healing?
We want.
Okay. All right. So just you have to create the entity, bring the entity to you. Mention the name of your business. Mention the name of your business and bring the entity near you. 3 times, 4 times, keep mentioning the business name. Okay, the entity forms. You can even feel it in your hand. Now say, in this entity of my business, how much prosperity energy is in my business? Scan. Prosperity energy in my business right now. Now. Feel the energy. Can you feel the energy? Okay, there is some, no, or more. I hope for some of us it's more. Okay, now make an intention. If I tithe every month from my business, if I start doing diligent tithing from my business, don't worry where you're going to give. You just make an intention, I'm going to tithe. Will my prosperity energy increase in just a month? Scan. Okay, imagine you've tithed energy of prosperity now in my business. After tithing. How many said yes, it increased? Can you put a 6 immediately in the chat room? So you have the tricks. You know what to do, my dear friends. There is no secret behind this. The problem is we don't do it. Yes, many of us get these techniques, but we don't want to tithe because we feel, I don't know, why should I tithe? Who is giving all these techniques? I'm not giving it to you. It comes from Master Choa Kok Sui. So a portion of it you should tithe to the teacher. I'm not saying this because we want your money or anything. It's for your own good, because you will prosper. And why do you have to prosper? Because that's why we are here. That's the reason we're having this nice program. Okay. So any
Can I add
questions?
some-
Yes, Jayesh, please. Thank you.
So the aspect of giving, or it's like farming, right? Whenever you want to farm, you look for a fertile land, right? You wouldn't farm in a barren land. So when you're farming and you grow your crops in a fertile land, do you think is going to be expected out of that crop? Is it going to be nice and healthy and strong and you get good yields out of it? Yes, that is what is likely to happen. As opposed to a barren land, if you're going to put and plant there, your crops will not grow, or even if they grow, they'll wither out very quickly, or they will die. Yeah. So all those things, even despite nurturing and everything, because the nutrients in the soil are not there. So when you give to a place where it is fertile, okay, that energy multiplies very, very quickly. Okay, and this is the reason, one of the reasons why Shavana is insisting or guiding, not really insisting, but guiding you to tithe to the foundation or to Master Choa's projects. Why? Because those are fertile land or fertile areas where your money will prosper. This is what it is basically. And we have a prominent example of one of the chroniclers in West Africa. He was the one who actually started tithing to Master Choa's work. And he started spreading Master Choa's work. When he started spreading Master Choa's work, his businesses grew 20-fold, 30-fold, 40-fold. Now imagine if your business is worth, say, $100,000 and it goes 40 times, where will it be? It's something like that. So it's important to tie it to a fertile place. Okay? And ensure that you do that with a good, clean heart and giving it lovingly. And be grateful that you have the opportunity to give to a fertile place.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Jayesh. The thing is, when you give it smiling anywhere you give. Okay. The other thing which I would like to share with you is that if you have any, if you have an eye problem, then you need to give to eye institutions, like, giving to somebody for cornea, what do you call it? The eye operations, to get them a replacement of the eyes, or buy them glasses. If somebody is going through cancer, then they need to give to people who are going through cancer, so they can support their medical treatments and all that. So this is how you generate the karma. Is what you need is what you give. So right now you need the teachings of the teacher, you give it to his organization. So if many of us, so if you have a back problem, like there was a lady, and this is a true story, she really had a lot of back problems. Her disc was literally, has God knows what. Our Bina is a physiotherapist. She knows what happens to people whose discs sort of misplaced. They can't sit, they can't stand, they can't do any. She treats a lot of patients like that. So she was really in agony. Lots of healing, lots of stuff was going on. She was going for physios and all that. One of the person told her, why don't you give some people donation of wheelchairs? If you give somebody mobility so they can be moving around, you'll generate good karma. She did. She at least listened. From what I remember, I think she donated 5 wheelchairs to a program we support here in Thika. These are the handicapped children we normally give. So if your feeding program goes there, the monies. So I think there's 60 children. No, they are less than 60, sorry. They're around 35, 40 children who are mentally, physically disabled completely. So they always ask us for wheelchairs, they ask us for mattresses and stuff like that. That time there was a need. So I told her, okay, you can donate here. She came, she donated 5 wheelchairs. Do you know what happened? Your guess is good as mine. Her problem is 90% cured since then. She can run, she even does gymming. She went even to Kilimanjaro to climb. Yeah, that's the good karma, because it's giving that you receive. So same way businesses should do that. Many people don't donate from the businesses. This is where the problem comes in. And then they wonder why my business is not moving. It's because you're not letting go. You're just holding, you're just keeping it with you. All right, my dear friends. So make an intention. So those of you who are going to take a challenge for 21 days, donate daily. You pick a choice. I don't know where you want to give. That's a choice you have. But every day you do your ritual, you give. You do your ritual, you give. And see the magic unfold. All right. And then we will discuss this. So we will give you a short business healing protocol. We will not have a session next week unless I have a speaker, because I'm traveling. I'm going to Ashram. But if we have a speaker, the speaker will carry on with the session. The following week, we will do a session. When we do the session, we will do business healing. All right. So keep your crystals ready and all that. The other thing which I wanted to ask you is, you must look at the logo, how your logo looks like. I want to ask you something. The successful businesses in Kenya, what can I think of? Auto Express. Let's look at Auto Express, the tire place. What is the color of their logo? Can you write it down, those who know? What is the color of their logo? Nobody knows Auto. Yeah, red and yellow. Arti said, yeah. It's red and yellow, Michelle, not just red. What is the logo for, which is the other place, Jesh? Can you think of? I can't remember the name, but there's successful places. McDonald's, right? McDonald's. It's red and yellow. Do you know they are very successful? If you look at the Chinese places, if they go, what do they always hang there? Red and gold, those balls, the lights they hang. Colors matter. So your logo must matter. If you have a logo with you, everybody has done advanced pranic healing. You're smart. You're very smart people. So you should use logos with growth, not logos which are depleting. Are we understanding? Yellow represents cementing, red is growth. Feng Shui, if you've done Feng Shui, you will know this immediately. So use logos which are more growth colors also. And triangle shapes are very, very good to use in your logos. All right, we will be discussing. I'll try and get one of the pranic healers who's good in doing shapes. Can't get hold of that person. I've been trying for a while. They can come and talk to you about the geometrical shapes. But in advanced pranic healing, we have the geometrical patterns at the back, no? They have a meaning. You want to become successful, use one of the geometric patterns in the advanced pranic healing book, paint it gold and red. Ketna here is amazing artist. Yes? The coaster she's using, the other day I was going to tell her, why don't you use the geometric patterns and give it to people? They put their glass on it, they put their money bag on it. It will manifest, it will bring prosperity. Ketna, are you there? Are you, oh, she left? I'm not too sure.
No, I'm there, Shravan, I'm
Yeah,
there.
yeah. The geometric patterns and you use the colors because she makes very beautiful coasters, you know. So things like this really manifest, but use the right colors. Colors depend on this. I think we've given a lot today. So I hope this was an interesting session for you. And I hope you will utilize the skills that we have shared today and keep doing it. So many of you are going to take the challenge. Please keep giving us a feedback if it's helping you or not. Okay. So until next time, we will give you some more tips. We will also do some financial healing for our businesses and all that. Keep your businesses ready, your names, logo. If you need to change the logo, please do so. If there's a possibility to do it. I remember Jayesh will tell you, when we moved into TRV Center, when we went to do the foundation there, they had a logo. And we looked at the logo and they were struggling to get people inside the, tenants to come to take the offices or buy the offices. The logo had a very dominant blue in it, And Jesh looked at it and he told him, if you change this blue to red, it will bring prosperity. The guy was really open-minded and he was receptive to receiving this information. I remember in just a 1 month, he changed all his logos. He made it that blue line into a red line. And immediately the offices started getting filled up. He really got it. He even came and told us. He said, "Oh, by the way, I don't know if it's a logo or what, but just today I got 3 tenants, and then actually that office is full. That office block is full, but also it's full because we also bless it. Of course, every day we do twin hearts there and everything. But the small adjustment in some business can change. Your feng shui, where are you sitting? How are you looking? Really matters. Which direction is your cash till being put in? It really matters. What direction is your door of the office matters. Those of you who've done feng shui, please look at it. Otherwise, do some consultation for the other pranic healers who have attended these workshops. We will be having feng shui next year, not this year. So hopefully you will do the class and put it into action. Yes? Are you happy? Who's happy? Put a 8
Yes.
if you're happy on the chat box.
Just one reminder is that whatever we do, you must have entitlement. You must create that entitlement. Okay, so we can talk about how to create entitlement in the next session. Thank
Simple,
you.
good karma. All right, let's end the session with a small prayer, shall we? Okay, with the blessings of the Supreme God, thank you for blessing us with clarity of mind and thought, giving us these amazing tools, little tips, techniques to how to prosper and to be able to use the amazing energy skills that we have learned from the School of Pranic Healing. And because we learned it from the School of Pranic Healing, we are grateful to Grandmaster Choa Kok Sui for his energy, his generosity to give us this openly. Thank you, Master, for so much love and sharing. And to his teachers and to all the great ones, we thank you for all the blessings that we receive. With gratitude and respect and love, be aware of everyone in this room. And let's bless everyone. Say, may, with the blessings of God, may you all be blessed with your heartfelt desires. May all of us be blessed with prosperity, success, and abundance in all that we do. May God bless us all. So be it. Say, so be it. And so it is. Thank you. Remember, it is in giving that you receive. As you give abundantly, you reap abundantly. This is the divine law. So keep sharing, keep giving. Good night.